Hey guys, how's it going? Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to wherever you are in this global NFT space that we all basically live in and day out. Today we actually have a special guest of Elysium Metagods, and I'm gonna let them go ahead and introduce themselves. But thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to come out here and educate us about this project. You were kind enough to give us, the Gajira family a bunch of spots, and here you go. Here's a chance to have a platform and to talk to people and convince them to mint your project. So yeah, go ahead.
Thanks a lot for introducing us, man. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I'm. We can introduce ourselves first, right? So I'm Gaia. I'm the co-founder of Elysium Metagods. Um, yeah, I'm in this project since the beginning. Since I'm the co-founder. I'm an entrepreneur into Web2 space. I've built several businesses, and I came into this space like feeling that here's the dot-com bubble in the beginning, and especially because we have experience with building products, understanding clients, building on feedback, we said that here's the right place to be, just at the beginning of uh, a big market. Yeah, that's me. You can
Yeah,
go ahead, Iman, present
th-
yourself, guys, and then we can present a bit of the project.
yeah, that sounds good. Thanks, Guy. My name's Iman. I'm from South Africa. I'm currently the marketing director for Elysium Metagods, and I'm full time in the Web3 space at the moment. Previously, before that, I came from crypto side of things to get me introduced into the Web3 space. But before that, in Web2, I was managing high-end fashion retail brands within South Africa, which I've now left behind to pursue this full time, which I'm really excited about and really grateful to be over here and given the opportunities I am. And super excited to be on Gojira's stage. There's people that's spoken about you guys, and when I was still new to the space, I've even heard about you guys then. So to think that I'd be on your stage presenting another project, it's a pretty cool opportunity. So yeah, thanks for bringing us here. And KFX, you could go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I mean, thanks. Would love to. So, hey everyone, I'm KFX. I'm based in Romania, and I'm the community manager for Elysium Metagods. I just want to say I'm really excited, and yeah, as Iman said, thankful. Oops, sorry about that. Let me just get my phone.
All right, well, I guess he kind of
And these phone calls coming at awkward of times.
yeah, I guess he kind of introduced himself. But so what I like to do in some of these AMAs is just to kind of like give people a chance to I mean, I know there's not like, tons and tons of people here, but like I said, it's just a global community that we have here. So
Mhm.
oftentimes people, can watch back on the recording. And one thing I like to do is like, after the introductions get happen, I like to give you guys a chance just to kind of give like a really good overview, like, an overview if you were trying to convince someone to mint your NFT, and then I can go with some questions and stuff like that. But I just want to give you guys a chance to like talk about the really bullish points that you think that make your project different than other projects, and like why people should, spend their hard-earned Ethereum on minting and putting money behind your team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I can go a
definitely.
bit like make a brief of the project, like what we're doing, and then TFX will go more into the details about the game we're building. Is that right?
Yeah, man, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I will just pinpoint the most important elements that we have into this market and within this project. And the first and the most important thing that we have is the fact that we have a game built before the release. We are building a game in multiple seasons, and the season one it's already built by us. It is already tested together with our community holders that we have, and I will just put the link here into the voice chat, and so you can guys can have a quick look on that. Yeah, here it is. It's a YouTube link. I can also touch it if needed. No, I cannot. Oh, I don't have the permissions, I think. So this is the first and the most important thing because it's important in this market to show people that you are coming first and delivering value to the community instead of asking for it, right? Instead of just asking people to invest into your project before proving that you can actually deliver at least a tiny step of what you promise you're going to deliver into the future. And the next thing that I would even look at if I would invest into a project today would be the team because anybody into this world can put a smart plan on the paper, and if you are a smart guy, you can even make a good plan and put it on the paper and convince people to invest into your project. But apart from that, I would look at the team that is behind the project and if they have the capabilities to build it. There are many, there are many projects built by, I'm not saying not experienced people, but not like not so reliable as entrepreneurs and stuff like that. And we as a team, at least, I'm not saying that we are the perfect team and we're not the best team into the market, but at least we are trying to do our best and to hire the best people. We are already 26 people in the team. So you can imagine uh, how much leverage we have in building the game and what's the reason we are having this game already built before the public said. Because we have already 14 people working on the game development and design. So it can just make more sense for you to understand why it's already built. And yeah, I would look at this. I would look at the co-founders if they are experienced entrepreneurs. And I think we, as I said, I don't think we are the most experienced ones in the world, but I think we have enough experience to drive people, to build products, to understand communities, and build on top of their feedback. And then is the fact that we have the agency, and it's a big visual effects agency that it's partner of the project. They are kind of founders, so they are backing up us too. And this is a very important aspect for a person who know uh, the costs of developing a game are very high. Having an internal team since the beginning, it's a very high advantage. So these are the two main things that I would pinpoint. Then I would let the my team talk with you a bit about our game details, about what we're doing into the community, what our plans are. Uh, just just to give you an overview, these are my 2 cents on why, guys. I think you at least should have a look at our project. I'm not saying you should buy; you will decide it. But that's my point. Why I think you can get 1 or 2 minutes to look at our project.
Cool, man. You've almost said everything.
I know you have a lot to say, man. I know it.
Awesome.
Cool. So yeah, if it's okay with everyone, I can give you guys a brief overview of the game and of the ecosystem we're actually building. Because yeah, as guys said, we're a team of more than 26 people working on this project. We even have an entire design studio, like one of the very best here in Romania. They're called Static VFX. We're all fully doxed. Yeah, we're all come from Web2 business backgrounds, and long story short, we joined forces with a team of Web3 advisors, and we've pledged to build an ecosystem, designed to continuously reward the community while always adapting to the ever-changing meta of the space. Because you saw how everything changes from week to week, so yeah, we plan to stay on top of that. So we started off wanting to build a game that rewards players while it's also fun, and it still has plenty of room for expansion. And yeah, after countless brainstorming sessions, we landed on the idea of using Greek gods in a strategy-based game where you can earn a native token we called God. The game itself will be developed in different seasons, as Gaia was mentioning earlier. And it's really important to mention here is that we've finished building the first season, which means that everyone that mints in the upcoming mint will be able to play the game immediately after the public sale. In terms of playing the game, I can break it down. You're going to have two main options, right? So there's going to be a staking game, which in a nutshell is going to offer 3 different staking options or battle positions, as we call them. Yeah, and each options yield God tokens. And besides that, each of these options will have their own risk and reward mechanisms. So this is the first option, and the second option will be the tournaments. So the tournaments are actually our play and earn off-chain component that will provide players with daily quests. And as players complete those quests, they advance on a leaderboard and win amazing prizes and, of course, God tokens. Now, this is the fun and engaging way of earning the God tokens we've already built for the first season. And as for the token utility, we got that covered as well, because we're releasing our very own marketplace within the game. And basically, you'll be able to purchase with God tokens like weapon NFTs that will upgrade your meta god, potions that will be used later on for breeding a new race of NFTs in season 2, but we'll also have multiple other functionalities. Uh, Even whitelist spots, on really hype project like Flipper is at the moment, because we got our hands on a few of those, and yeah, the community went wild. So it's definitely something the DGens like, and yeah, we're also for the DGens out there. There are also going to be loot boxes, and which you'll be able to find like NFTs, very rare NFTs, whitelist, like basically all the things I mentioned earlier, and including ETH. So naturally, there are going to be winners. There are going to be losers because yeah, what's the fun of a game? To develop an open world game where you can interact with your 3D avatar and later on immerse yourself with VR. Because in the end, we want you guys to have an amazing experience, while playing. And the plan is to develop the game together based on your feedback. That's kind of a brief overview on what we're doing here and what's already built for season 1. Coming season 2, we'll also be introducing land plots, and yeah, more gaming mechanics in that directions.
Yeah, awesome. So you've already minted out as the Celestial passes, correct?
All good?
I
Oh,
didn't
zero
realize he
pulls
left
off.
the stage. I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
even realize that he left the stage over there. Well, we won't keep you guys waiting. We can just carry on talking till he hops back on the stage over
Oh,
here.
how do I get
Uh,
back on the
I know that maybe
stage?
for those who haven't heard, I can just talk a bit about what we've done in the past, because I know, especially for you big investors, security is an important aspect of a mint. So maybe just to touch on our security for a bit. About late Feb, we had a Celestial Pass mint, which was just another mint that we had for some early investors. Oh, Zero, you're back. You're all good there, bro.
Hey,
Welcome back, man.
goodness. Yeah, hey, sorry. My
Just gonna wait.
Discord just restarted.
Oh,
But
that's
anyways, go
terrible.
ahead.
Yeah,
I was
I'm just
asking
not.
about the yeah, I heard everything you're saying. I didn't realize that I wasn't a speaker anymore, but I was just like asking about you're talking about minting everything out. Am I getting rugged here? Can you guys hear
I
me
can
okay?
kind of hear you. Yeah, yeah, it's just
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit
it's
shaky,
cool.
but besides that, you're good.
Um Yeah, so what I was saying is just I was asking questions about the like the first pass, and like you said that there's like another mint that's gonna happen that's gonna be land. Like how does all that stuff work together in your guys' ecosystem? Like, going from the Celestial Pass that has already been announced, and then you have the Meta Gods that's coming out, and then you have the weapons, and then you said you have land plots, is that correct? And then even buildings, like how does that all work together?
Yeah, I can explain that a bit. So basically, I'll start off where I was just ending off over there now, just before you hop back on, finish off with our Celestial Pass, which was essentially just excuse me, an opportunity for early investors, and they got three core benefits, which was one, they're getting a free Metagod mint, two, they're getting a free land mint, and three, they've been able to generate 100 God token on a daily basis since beginning of March, just to give them a little bit of a boost when they come when the game launches, and our marketplace with that as well. And then they also, they get a bit of a key. We haven't released too much information, but a tiny bit of alpha is just those Celestial Pass holders have a bit of a advantage when the land and buildings comes out. But I'm not allowed to say anymore. But yeah, so that's the Celestial Pass in a nutshell. And then, as you mentioned, our Meta Mint is coming up. So those will ultimately, in the future, be the playable characters within the game. But for season 1, metagods are what you'll be staking uh, within season 1, and then the weapons, like you mentioned, are another collection that we'll be introducing within season 1 as well. But the cool thing about the weapons is that they're mintable via our god token. So that's just adding a bit more utility there towards the token as well. And then the land sale, this is just a brief overview of all of them. And then the land and buildings, which you mentioned as well, they'll be coming in season 2. That's just an opportunity for expansion of the game. It's gonna kind of change things up a whole bunch. You're gonna be able to buy, sell, rent the land. Uh, there's going to be arenas in place. There's going to be opportunities for collaborations with other projects to expand the game even further. Integrate our God token within other projects if necessary as well. So there's a whole heap of expansion for that land and buildings as well. That was just a brief overview of each of the different collections, but there's obviously a whole bunch of aspects between everything too. If you would like to ask specific questions, you're more than welcome to. But that's that. I thought I'd just keep it brief for those as well.
No, that's great. I appreciate you giving that. And it's like very in-depth, detailed description of all that kind of stuff. Because it's kind of interesting when you see already announced. Like most projects don't announce other drops like well before. So I was just curious, like how it all plays into the ecosystem, and I think you definitely did a very good job of explaining that. So I appreciate that. And one thing that I was just curious if, like, as well, just like kind of walk us through this like roadmap. Like, like obviously it says that you guys were minting in April, but things, obviously changed. And based on the market, currently right now, like how are you guys planning on like working around that? Because I know we were talking about it before as being a tough thing, and launching into this
Yeah.
might be kind of tough. But I was just curious, like what kind of things you guys might be doing to help combat that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We were discussing together with the team also the best case and the worst case scenarios that we have. And I would say that in the worst case scenario, the mint would go. We are covered because we already, as I said, we have the team, and because we already have the first season built and the half of the second season, um, we are pretty much covered within this direction. However, approaching the minting strategy, we were thinking to ask the community actually to test a bit their vibe and what are their intentions. Because I would not go to mint on, I don't know, early next week if they think they wouldn't mint, because you have to listen to your community, right? They are saying you if they are prepared or not for this. So the thing that we're doing is that we're gonna do a poll into the community to ask them about it, when they prefer to mint.
Yeah, I think that
And
getting. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I also think that every bear market has two phases. The first phase is the shock, where when people are shocked and they're afraid of making any move and they are freezed, and then they will get used with the situation and it will just become the new reality, right? Because if you look let's say 3 weeks ago, right, the market was decent. Projects were minting out and stuff. But if you compare it with how the market was 6 months ago, in October, November, you can consider that we are in a bear market since then, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so I would say that people just get used to the actual situation uh, with what's happening, and the new reality. Just they accept the new reality, and that's it. And we're just gonna wait a bit to see when people accept the new reality, even though the ETH is down, the volumes are down. We see people emotions.
Yeah,
What do
absolutely.
you think about it? I'm
Yeah.
curious also about your brief thoughts on this.
Yeah, I mean the thing is that I guess in this current market right now, I don't think that, as long as you're, talking to the community and see what the community wants and, going off that, I don't think having if things don't turn around, I don't think having to delay mint or based on the community's decision, I don't think it's like that big of a deal, and just the main thing is just that like, some projects can mint into this kind of thing because it's like a slow mint and you guys have already, you people have already gotten money and I've already gotten capital to already begin, you know, work on the game and all that good stuff that you guys have planned, go through with the roadmap, whether or not you like fully mint out. And then, as you guys are building, oftentimes people just come. Like if you build it, they will come. Same thing with an NFT project. If you build and you continue building, people will continue to come back. And if you guys are putting out a solid product, people will mint it. And those people, oftentimes are the lucky ones that get to minted versus having to buy it on OpenSea when the an actually like, a decent project is coming out. So I do think it is possible. It just all depends.
Hmm. Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
So, but yeah, that's like that's like just the main thing. I mean, I can see you guys have a really well thought out project here and all that good stuff. Just like kind of like walk me through like some of the other things of like why is it worth to mint the Metagod now? What kind of advantage do I have? Or why would I not just wait until later on and then just like mint the land and like buy all that stuff like all at one time? You know, is there benefits to holding the Metagod while you're waiting on the game development?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, first of all, from an economic point of view, the Genesis collection right now, uh, they will have much higher benefits than the landowners. And actually, the Genesis collection, we are planning to have a discount on the land, but this is something we didn't actually announce, like something like we didn't took a decision on that. This is the first thing, right? If you wanna invest into our project, now is the best time to do it. Since most of our utility token distribution will go to our Genesis holders, to our MetaGuard holders. And then the fact that you are actually playing the first season and the second season with your MetaGuard helps you get like I would say getting very early into our project means like start yielding God token before anybody else. Start playing our game and again getting our utility token, which is the God token, before anybody else. So this is this advantage of investing early into a project, right? It's like if you look at the Gojira, for example, there's a difference between investing in Genesis collection and then in the second collection.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's, you make it definitely a good point. Like about Kachir and all that kind of stuff. Like builders will prevail, especially even in this current market and all that stuff. And like early supporters of the project, oftentimes when the people keep on building, like you were saying, it's just like they benefit so much from being a part of the Genesis holders and then, being a part of the subsequent collections as well. And you did definitely a good job of explaining all of that, with the God token and all that good stuff. And so like I was trying to look for questions and whatnot. I don't think that there's too many questions right now, but I do think that you've done a very good job of explaining everything here. There's a good white paper you guys have done. It's very informative and explains very professional looking. It's definitely like it's on the Git book, which is like the preferred medium to be able to do that kind of stuff. I looked through it before this project and it's well thought out. But yeah, if you guys like, there's any other like good alpha stuff, things that you want to talk about, why, it's like the main thing is there's a lot of play to earn games, and I always kind of like, love to hear that, of course. But is it the biggest challenge in a play to earn game is to be able to, it kind of like not trick is a good word, but like convince the player that they're having fun, and then as a byproduct of having fun, they earn a token. And I think that oftentimes projects try to say this kind of stuff, but people's main goal is just to make money. And when they only want to have to earn, then it's a job instead of, a leisure thing, which that's what gaming is all about. So how is your game going to be able to, combat with that? Because that is definitely a difficult task. That's kind of like the $1 million concept, that if you figure out how to convince people that just to have fun, and they play the game just to have fun and then they earn because of it, then guess what, your token does really well. But if it's all about just making money, then that's like a the basically a kind of a pitfall for a token crashing in its value to the community. So how are you guys going to combat with that?
If I could just maybe touch on this, if you don't mind as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, Zara, the one part that stood out from your question was just mentioning how some people are a little bit busy and like can't play the game to earn the token, and then how's that going to affect the actual tokenomics of everything. I'm really glad you asked that question. We have two main aspects to the game, like KFX mentioned in the beginning. There was the actual battle positions, or as you can call it, just the various staking positions, or there's the tournament side of things. So the staking positions is where it includes all types of gamers. We wanted to cater for both passive and active gamers. There's three main types of staking positions, right? To put it in simple terms, there are our gaming terms, but to put it in simple terms, there's essentially a defensive position, an offensive position, and an attacking position. The defensive position caters for those that do not have time to play the game or to enter the tournaments. actively play and participate within the ecosystem. The defensive position, essentially, you just stake your meta god and you can earn the god token, and that's that. You can claim it anytime. There's no risk. There's nothing. It's just a normal staking. So that's where it includes those people that aren't able to participate within the game itself. Then your offensive and attacking positions is where it gets a bit more interesting, because that's when your risk to reward ratios are altered, and there's a bit more of a gambling aspect to it. We have a randomized, we have a randomized reward ratio within there as well with the god tokens, and those figures can all be affected with the weapons NFTs, with potions we're introducing as well. So there's a whole bunch of aspects you need to take into consideration over there too. Within the tournaments, there's also certain meta gods that's better suited for certain quests as well. But back to the staking, also maybe I'll just touch on there's different staking yields for different meta gods. You have different what we call relics. So there's 7 relics, and those all have different base yields for each meta god as well. So if you are a bit of a whale and you don't have enough time to participate within the game, you're more than welcome. Purchase a meta god with a rare relic. There's only the rarest relic. There's only 12 of them within the whole collection. So you're more than welcome to purchase that rare relic. It obviously has the highest base yield for the god token, and they can simply just stake that in a defensive position, leave it, let it accumulate, and then they could spend that god token within our marketplace. Which like KFX mentioned, we have Kaiju Kings in there, we have Flipper Whitelists in there, we have a heap of other. We have loot boxes, we have ETH in there. There's a whole bunch of different things in there that they can then enjoy the rewards from that as well. But that's kind of just an overview of how we're going to cater for both sides of the gaming community within the space.
Yeah, that's really interesting because like that whole relic rarity level is kind of something that goes very much in play with with like RPGs and all that stuff, like with like plays right into the gaming thing with like godly being like kind of like legendary, epic, rare, and then you got the uncommon and then the common. So I mean that makes a lot of sense to me. It's always interesting to see how things actually play out when you get you could beta test stuff as the team till you're blue in the face, and sometimes you actually miss some extremely important factors about it and potential ways. So like it's going to be interesting to see when people are able to get their hands on this and how they actually gamify it, because it's always very kind of like intriguing the way other people, normal gamers kind of look at a game differently than how, game devs and founders look at it. So I definitely look forward to seeing how this all plays out and everything like that. I don't really have too many more questions because like those are kind of the important ones I just wanted to ask about, all the stuff that like the a lot of the tough questions that are kind of difficult to answer, and I think you guys did a really good job. And oftentimes like in these kind of market conditions and all this crazy stuff going on, just like with Azuki and just everything, it just kind of like it's some things are out of your control, and it's like a really important thing as founders and as a good team is just to be able to adapt. Like, so how do you guys plan on just in case certain things happen, like if you don't mint out, or if you for some reason like something happens with the contract or something like that, like how are you guys as a team going to be able to adapt to these kind of things?
I think we have various different things in place. I see Guy wants to touch on that, but just before Guy goes, I'll spend 1 minute just touching on that. KFX and myself have been in over 60 AMAs in the past 3 weeks or so, just hopping. We've been in huge ones to tiny, people from AMAs with 3 people in, all the way up to Neo Tokyo the other day when we had 300 people in. And this is the best way. And leading our marketing strategy, this is the most organic way, and it's been the most influential way to grab those type of investors that we've been looking for, and it's been extremely successful. Our team itself has been working so hard within the Discord to keep our community entertained. We have a local ambrosia currency, which people have been using in our kind of pre-marketplace that we've kind of set up with the bot. They've been loving that too. We put a lot of measures into place to make sure our community is happy, and I personally am extremely confident. We know with our minting structure, we have a phase 1 mint, we have a phase 2 mint. That's then if it doesn't mint out in phase 2, we'll head over to public. But we have a lot of things in place to make sure the mint itself goes smoothly, and I am confident with our current track that we have.
Yeah, I want to mention something here because the mint structure is very important. We have phase 1 of mint where people have a guaranteed mint. and we open it only for 2 or 3 hours. So we mint a high supply in a very short period of time. And then we go into the phase two of mint, where it's an allow list. So everybody know that there is no uh, guaranteed mint there. So people will get a bit of fear of missing out because it's over allocated the second phase. And because we have a decent amount of supply minted in the first phase because it's um, a low time frame minting, we trigger. We hope we will trigger most of the NFT tools in the market and the waves. So they will go into the OpenSea. They will raise the floor and the volume, and people from the second phase will see it and they will mint it fast because they know they don't have a guaranteed spot. That's the strategy that we have right now. And anyway, the worst case scenario, if we don't mint out, because it's possible, right? I don't want to say that we're 100% sure that we're going to mint out. There is nothing sure in this world. Uh, the thing that we can say is that we will continue to build. Since we have already built the first season, we can already deliver to the community, right? We will close the mint, deliver to the community, and we continue from there. There is no point in I don't know doing whatever else. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's no real right way to answer that question. It's just one of those things to kind of like pop it in your head and like just to kind of think about not like the fact of not minting out, but just being able to adapt and do things on your feet and kind of just to be able to I like to call it, I think the saying is like to roll with the punches. Like kind of like take a left hook or take a right hook. You got to learn how to like kind of adapt to it and just kind of keep on persevering because realistically, if you think that your project is going to go off without a hitch and not a single thing is like no hiccups are going to happen or speed bumps or anything like that, and you're just kind of like
hmm
crazy because that just stuff happens, and it's even happens to the best of projects, and the best of projects are the ones that adapt to it. So it's just one of those things that I just wanted to kind of put out there to the team just to kind of let you guys know. It's like don't be too like ashamed. I'm not saying that like you won't mint out, but if you don't, it's not always a sign of like a failed project. Sometimes there's lots of conditions and things that you have no control over, and like we've been harping on it a
yeah,
bit during this, you can't control the market. If you could, you
exactly.
would be not making an NFT project. You would just be a billionaire and it'd be incredible. So I don't see too
Yeah,
many.
exactly.
Yeah, so exactly. So, but I appreciate you guys' time here. I mean, if there's any last words or anything like that. Not too many questions out here. I'm definitely going to be posting this recording so everyone can listen back to it that missed out because I know that there's a lot of people probably sleeping. There's always people missing out on things here in the Gojira server. It's literally impossible to plan a time where there aren't people in the middle of the night. So it's definitely tough, and I know people are going to enjoy this recording and be able to listen back through because I know you guys gave a lot of whitelist spots, and we were very lucky to have that collaboration, and we do appreciate that. So if you guys like want, just some closing words and things like that, and then we can just kind of wrap it up. And I know you guys have been doing a lot of AMAs and you've been really busy, so I'll let you guys get back to it. But the stage is for you if you guys want to do anything closing words.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for having us. And my last 2 cents are the fact that whatever happens into this market, I think by the end of this year, you are gonna see what are the best projects you should have invested in, I guess, because most of them will be gone at that time. And I think real and strong teams will continue to deliver into this market. So um, I would look into it. And yeah, thanks a lot for having us. I've led some links into the group chat of this server, so you can go there and see our game trailer, our Discord, our Twitter. I can even put a video with our team. Iman, can you do that, please? And yeah,
Yeah,
you can watch it and see who is behind our project and everything else. And if you have any other question, you can jump into our Discord, and I'm more than happy to talk with you guys. And if you want to, I can even jump into voice chats. I do it from time to time with the community. Yeah, thanks again for having us, guys.
Yeah, absolutely, and thanks for like I said, I know you guys been on an AMA marathon, so it's always tough when it gets close to the mint time, and it's the last few AMAs, and you kind of start feeling the wear and tear of talking so much, because I definitely feel that because I host a lot of AMAs. So just wanted to say thank you guys so much for coming out here. I know everyone out there that's in the crowd appreciates it. I know everyone that's going to be listening to the recording appreciates it. And like, yeah, I wish you guys like the best of luck on your mint, and hope wish the market a best of luck in recovering. I guess is a good way of saying it too.
Thanks, Zero. We appreciate it, bro. And we appreciate you bringing us onto your stage and just spending these past 40 minutes with us. And for those listeners as well, thanks for taking time out of your day to give us a listen. We appreciate every single one of you. And Zero, you've been an amazing host, bro. Sorry that Discord rugged you a bit earlier. But we appreciate you taking time and bringing us up here and giving us a listen and giving us a bit of interest. So we appreciate that.
Pleasure's all mine. And yeah, sometimes Discord just rugs me, it just randomly restarts and pops me back in. And it said I was back into the stage, and I thought I was like a speaker, and so I was even talking to myself like in the crowd. Until you guys were like, I guess Zero got rugged. And I was like, well, I guess I got rugged. But it happens.
It's all good. It's all good.
So yeah, just last thing before we like wrap up. Thank you guys so much, and I appreciate it. And I'm gonna, we'll catch you guys later. Take care.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.